So I just want to say, right, a couple things. I don't. There's no coincidence that we have the Trump as our president in this age period. It's no coincidence that he was put into office because it was prophesized of a coming threat, a disease that was spreading, and he oversaw that. Along with a lot of people who use common sense, and he just sought to eradicate it by going to the source. Because once you get rid of it in the source, everywhere that's happening on the exterior parts, it will be easy to eliminate. So you want to get rid of the problem, you go straight to the source. And that's what he did. But as he's coming to a close and is winning, last attempts of the exterior is gonna try to manipulate and make you think like like they're winning. It's embedded in them. They can't tell the truth. They have to lie. It's in their interest because they sense that where their source is at is getting eliminated. And so they have to get intense and stuff like that. I mean, if anybody who can read patterns over the long run, right? Like most people don't see the patterns, but there's a lot of memes about it where you see they're always the losing end of the battle. They're the example of what not to do. If you follow the patterns, and you would see on the long run, like, okay, there's something wrong about this. You have to investigate it. And it comes to find out that you were right in your instinct of being right in recognizing that it was wrong. And, there'll be a lot of lost people in that distraction because they never found their voice. They just followed and played along. And the people they followed and played along looked just like them. They they acclimated and accepted the fact that that's who they were, and they identified with it. Their behaviors became theirs. But this been going on for eons. They like to say for the last 50 years or something, but it started over there, and now they're trying to do the same things over here. Over there, they bomb their neighbors. you know, this is happening over there. Like, they just be missiling and shit like that, destroying lives for no reason. And so the same things happen, but they're using words like communism, socialism, and things like that. It's the same thing though. I just wanted to say that, 'cause I'm feeling pretty good. But I've been working out. I posted a new video, by the way, on my YouTube channel. It's a workout session. I did something live where I was exercising. But in other news, I just published a book. It's called the Book of Lesser, the book number 2 of Lesera. It should be out in a few days. It's gonna be on Amazon. I'm getting good at this, publishing my own things, and I got my logo too. Like, I've been doing this for years, man. Lemneskazil is the brand. I'm almost like disappointed. We didn't have technologies like social media back in the days. Back in the days, if you were informed, you looked at like a I don't know, like a conspiracy theorist or something. But then as social media came and started, being readily accessible to everybody, the information was now seen more and more scale. Like everybody knew, you know. It wasn't like only a group of people knew. So, when you start seeing the numbers, it's just it doesn't something's off. Doesn't add up. So there are a lot of you who hit the like button, but you really don't like, you know, and and I guess that's the problem. I try not because I'm Zog, your creator. I try not to like any other things, but there are a few that sometimes impulses and I like it. I hit the like button, but very rarely do I do that shit. And I like them all. It's just because I know the algorithm is reading that shit, and then once they read that shit, they're gonna start sending you more shit like that. And I try to foresee that and preempt from that coming about, and so I try to like what I like, but it's rarely it happens. I try to screen my AI bot very, very sophisticated. I really think about that shit, and so far AI is working for me, not the other way around. Unlike for you, I don't know. It depends on everything. But I think you have to vocalize the hypocrisy and attack yourself, because you're allowing this stupidity to happen. And somewhere along the line, you accepted the status quo and you thought it was fine. This is it. This is life. Yeah, I'm with you. You see them every day. You agree with them and shit. But you gotta step out of that shit somehow. Look for a way to find your own self. You know what I mean? Not a lot of y'all independent. Y'all don't know what it is to be autonomous because you lived your life dependent and shit. But you want to try to find, it is in the suffrage where everybody grows. So it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be fun either. But what I want to add is we need to spark someone. All it takes is one. All it takes is one for it to have a change reaction. And others will be able to do it. All it takes is one person to decide to make that switch, and then the others will follow. And where we need to see it happen on a conscious or collective level is starting with the gas stations, be it like Exxon, Chevron, all these big gas companies, right? They need to give freely more oil. See, there's individuals doing it, already. I don't know if you ever heard of this person. I'll make him more famous. I don't know. He does good work though. His name is Trax, right? And he's from NYC. This guy, he sells jewelry and a lot of expensive jewelry like gold, diamond. And what he does, right? He goes to like certain cities or blocks, and he gives people free gold coins and silver. I seen a couple of videos where he does this. And the guy is is standing alone against the system of what is already out there, which is a lot of jewelers scheming, stealing people's money by making the product more expensive and exaggerating the prices. So the way I see Trax is like the first revolutionist to go against that kind of system. And the way why he's important is because in the gas world, the Chevrons and the Mobiles and big named gas companies from America, there's got to be one that comes out like a Trax who likes to give more oil at the gas pump, where in turn it reflects the price. Where, let's say, instead of like being $3 to $5 where it's currently at right now, you see it like at 50 cents to $1. Like I said, this Trax individual from NYC, he's doing it with gold coins and silver coins and gold coins. He's going to blocks and he's giving it out for free to random people. The same thing has to happen at one of these gas pumps, where there's got to be one of those that just starts giving out, more than to make the price look like it's free. You see? So it's going to happen. I just keep reiterating that all it takes is one person, All it takes is that one person, like a Trax, right? This is there's way more before him and after, but I'm using him because he's trying to do that in the gold jewelry world, in the jewelry world. But there's individuals like that in hip hop and all over, politics. I'm just, like I said, I'm trying to compare him with the gold and then the gas, and that's how I'm doing it. And it's being creative. Like I said, I probably made him more famous now, but it doesn't matter. I just wanted to get this analogy across because, it's common sense that it only takes one. Once that person is sparked, the others will follow suit. And, that's just something I wanted you to think about, while you go about the rest of your day. All right, gratitudes.